Hey everybody, uh, this video is going to be tough. I'd be seriously surprised if I don't break down a few times. Definitely going to use a lot of profanity, more than likely, and if that's something you don't want to hear, please don't watch it. But I really need to do this video for several reasons, and they make a really good amount of points to it. Now, recently I posted in my stories, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, about positivity being a choice. And also, on a regular basis, at least a couple times a week, people ask me, like, how are you always so positive? How do you maintain that with everything going on and whatever? I'm going to give you some real good reasons why. When I was 5 years old, my mother snapped into massive paranoid schizophrenia. The woman that my father married, 5 or 6 years before, went completely berserk, full force, as bad as it possibly can get, paranoid schizophrenia. Now, the irony is that my dad was supposed to go on a blind dates with my mother's sister, and he ended up choosing to go with my mom. Ironically, my aunt ended up being paranoid schizophrenic. So the odds against my father were not good from the start. He was going to get that no matter what. But, when all that went down and I was 5, his life changed. Dramatically changed. He had my brother, myself, and my little sister to take care of, and he had to deal with taking care of my mother, who was mentally ill. I don't talk a lot about my childhood growing up with my mother. I do, I have mentioned it in some detail in the past, but I just can't reiterate how awful the experience must have been for my father. It was for us kids, it was so devastating. And we all dealt with it in different ways. But my father had to take care of us all. But he never, ever showed a single sign of negativity. He never complained in front of us. He never showed us how the craziness he was going through. He still, every single day, got up and went to work. Now, at 5 years old, my dad started bringing me with him to work. Every morning, we'd get in his little truck, all, dusty and crusty, with all the cement dust in there, and his tools in the back. And every morning we'd go to the coffee shop, and he'd meet up with his buddies, and he was always laughing, and he was, everyone, walking across the street, Tony, everyone was like, loves my father. My father was always in a good mood, always talking to people, always making them feel good, making them laugh. So from a very, very young age, I was witness to seeing someone going through something awful and not letting, and at least, at the very least, letting anyone else see what he was going through. Now, I kept working with him up until I was actually 19. But by the age of 9, I started working out with weights. In addition to working with him, going to work with him, moving bricks and blocks all day. I was laying bricks at 10 years old and mixing cement. The guy, whether the job was a $200 step repair or a freaking $10,000 fireplace chimney job, the guy put just as much attention to detail and personal pride in any job that he did. Anything. So now here I am, 10 years old. Also, in addition to him never exuding any sort of negativity, he's putting personal pride in what he does, despite anything he's got going on in his freaking life. Now, me, my brother, and sister, growing up, could never have friends over. We could never, the kids in the neighborhood knew us and they understood, so that, we had that. But I could never have a girlfriend come over. So I couldn't even talk on the phone because my mother would be screaming her head off in the background. Every other day she was smashing a TV set because she thought voices were coming out. And every other day my father would be buying her another TV set. Couple of times she almost burnt our house down. There was so much stuff that we were dealing with as kids. And my father, dealing with all that, never complains. Always in a positive mood. One time, my mom had gotten taken away several times, and that me, my brother, and sister witnessed of them coming to the house, her fighting off the dudes with the white coats, hauling her away in a stretcher, putting her in either the psych ward at Bon Secours or Danvers. And again, my father never let us see what he was going through. So we all dealt with so much as kids, and my father. And we all watched that guy always get up every day regardless and do his absolute best. And let me tell you something. The guy had many opportunities, many of quitting. That guy could have quit about 5 or 6 times. He told me a couple of times he almost loaded up the station wagon, took me, my brother and sister, and went to Canada. But he didn't. He never left. He never gave up. He never at all. So here I am, 19, going into the Marine Corps, right? I didn't tell the guy I was going in for a whole year. I told him 3 months before I was going in. He was so freaking upset and pissed off, but he still hugged me. He still told me he loved me, and he wished me well, and he never had anything negative to say. Now, he's the youngest of 11, right? 92 years old. They're all gone. As of today, as of this, this current time, right? He's seen more loss than anyone I know, that guy. His friends, 92, you've been around for a while. He's lost. I've lost so many people as it is. This guy lost 3 times as much people by the time he hit 92. Still, always telling me and my sister, my brother passed away long ago, but he's always telling me and my sister he loves us. He's always telling us how no matter what, if he could have done it, again, he would have done the same thing. So I growing up have witnessed greatness from this man. And the reason I'm on here right now is because 5 hours ago, my father passed away. This is hard for me to say, but long story short, me and my sister sat with him the last hours of his life and held his hands. That guy, again, another example right here, laying in that bed with tubes going up him and tubes coming out, wires all over him, you know, thing in the nose, machines on. He's incoherent. He can barely even see or talk. And he's literally 5 minutes before he left us, he was still giving me and my sister the thumbs up and telling us he's okay. Right to the very end. It's unbelievable. He is the greatest human I've ever known on the face of this earth. And I've known some incredible people in my time. But that man is the greatest person I ever had the honor of knowing. So, you know, when you have those days when you're feeling negative and you want to just bitch and complain about the most meager of fucking things, think of this video. That guy could have fucking hung it up from the beginning. And all the way, 4 weeks before that guy's turning 93, fought the good fight. All he did for this last, few hours he was alive was tell me and he could barely talk, but he was telling me and my sister he loves us. And we held his hand. We were there for him. We wished him well. It's tough, man. So stay fucking positive. Maintain positivity. Because being negative is going to get you fucking nowhere. All right? It could always be worse. No one likes a miserable motherfucker. Stay positive. Keep people inspired around you. Believe in them. My father believed in me. From whatever I wanted to do, the crazy ass ideas I had, he believed in me. He stood by me. All right, that's it. I gotta go. I'm sorry this was long. And I really appreciate you all listening. All right? Please stay positive.